Hello! Welcome to this spoiler-free review of To Sleep in a Sea of Stars. If you have not read this book yet, this video is for you and might help you decide whether this book is worth your time and your money. If you are considering reading this book, it might be because you are a Christopher Paolini fan, maybe because you have read his Inheritance cycle from years ago when he was a young writer. But this book might not be for you if you're an Inheritance cycle fan. They do not read the same, they do not give you the same feeling, they're not the same flavor, if you will. Just because you like cookie dough flavored ice cream does not necessarily mean that you will like mint chocolate chip flavored ice cream. These are different books from different universes, and I'm going to say they are for different audiences. So don't let your love of Paolini lead you to spend money on this book that you then are disappointed in. Not that you'll be disappointed, I'll go over some reasons that you might like it versus reasons you might not like it. If you like a military presence to your space sci-fi, this book has it. The UMC is a strong presence in this story, and they play a big role in helping the main character, Kira, accomplish her goals. I would not say that the military presence is overpowering, they don't take over the story, but they are there, and their presence helps flavor this story. This book has a large universe, and the characters travel from place to place. They don't just stay on one planet or travel between a couple of different planets. They are out there, they're traveling around. It's not a travel log, it's not that type of story, but they're not staying in one place. And the story is not really about what happens between places. There is a little bit of character building and a little bit of story as they go from place to place, but this story is more about the big picture stuff that happens once they reach the places that they're going. You might like this book if you like a strong female lead in your stories. Kira Navarez is the main character, and it's not made a big deal of that she is a woman in this story. There's no sexism present in this book that I can see. Also another good reason to like it. And there is no moments of, like in Jurassic Park, where Dr. Sadler has to tell Hammond, we can discuss sexism and survival situations after I get back. No, none of that here. She is just a strong female character. She is the main character. That's it. And she plays her character well. Something else that's really nice about this book are the aliens. They are unique. They're not your normal, generic, two-leg, two-arm, walk upright, just easy to explain and easy to accept type of aliens. These aliens are different, and I appreciate that. You see so many space stories where the other races that you find on other planets are just other versions of humans. Paolini came up with his own idea for his own aliens, and he just ran with it. Plus, the main alien life form that Kira interacts with in this story is also, again, a different type of alien, and it's a different type of relationship between this alienistic life form and the main character that you might normally see in a sci-fi story. So I really appreciate that as well. This book also has a ship's crew that Kira, as the main character, gets to come in contact with and kind of have some camaraderie with. So if you like stories like Firefly or Star Trek, where there's a crew of shipmates who have to rely on each other and depend on each other, this book has that. The story also incorporates some cool futuristic tech. So Paolini had this vision of humanity in the future. What will we be doing? What will life be like for us as we progress out into space? And one of those things is our personal technology. Right now, our personal technology usually looks like this. You can do all kinds of things on this little device. You can communicate with people, you can entertain yourself, you can complete tasks and jobs, whatever. Paolini's vision of how humans have decided to take this technology into the future is, we still want this technology, but we're going to implant it directly into our bodies. This isn't really a spoiler, it's not really a plot point or anything. I just think it's a really cool way of thinking of the future technology. You have your device on you all the time. You don't have to remember to charge it. You don't have to remember to put it in your pocket. It's just always there. They're called inlays. So in this futuristic universe, you can do everything you could do on your smart tablet plus some just by thinking about it. Plus ship minds. Another interesting little tidbit in this universe that's different from the normal AI computers you would normally see. If you like action sequences in your sci-fi, this has some pretty good ones. It's not just full of action, and it's not an action story, but there is enough of it to please the reader who wants some action in their life. This book also has a very unorthodox ending. It's an ending that you might not be able to easily predict that it's going to happen. I don't think it's a really shocking ending. I had watched a few book reviews before I bought the book where people talked about the weird ending, so I knew it wasn't going to be your normal type of ending, but I was a fan of it. I thought it was handled really well. So if you like an unusual, unexpected ending, this book has it. And if you come back for my next video where I give a super spoilery chat about this book, I'll tell you why I am a fan of the ending. And if you like a good, classic, maybe slightly generic sci-fi story, this book is for you. And now on to my reasons why you might not like it so much. If you are someone who really appreciates good storytelling, this book might not be for you. I feel kind of bad saying that because I loved The Inheritance Cycle and I thought Paolini's storytelling was very good in those books. When I picked up this book, I almost felt more like the story was being explained to me. Rather than being told the story by the storyteller, it feels more like someone else read the story and then is telling me what happened in the story. I don't know, it's kind of a weird feeling. If really good storytelling isn't that important to you, you'll be fine. And to be fair, that was my biggest complaint with this book. I don't think it's a bad book. I don't think you'll be hugely disappointed unless, like me, you really like the storytelling aspect. And this book might be a slight disappointment to you if you like multiple character point of views going on, or if you like really deep characterization. We really only follow Kira. She is the main character, and she's the only character point of view that we get in this story. So we are only in Kira's mind. We only get her reactions. We only see things through her eyes. And I just didn't feel like a lot of time was spent letting us as the readers get to know each character, which, when there's a lot of action and battle and things going on and the universe is at stake, we need a reason to care about these characters. And I didn't feel like there was a ton of reason to care about them. In fact, at one point there is a character who gets seriously injured, and I found myself not caring too much about whether they pulled through or not. I wasn't connected to this character yet, and I felt like at this point in the book I should have cared more. And I wouldn't say that these characters are like wooden cutouts of characters or anything, but you really only get to know them on a surface level. It's like they're more acquaintances than friends. And again, I'm going to talk about the ending of the book. I know I talked about it in my reasons you might like this book, because you might like an unorthodox ending that's not expected. But you might also be the kind of person who doesn't like that. You might like a nice, neatly wrapped up ending. I would say that this book could be read as a standalone, but the way it ends, you might be feeling like, well, now I need to read the next book. Now I need to see what happens after this. There's no next book yet. That's okay. The ending is a little weird, and I think it's just one of those things that's going to be up to personal preference. You're either going to really enjoy the ending and think it was cool, or you're going to think that was weird, why did it end this way? You're not going to know until you read it. But it's hard to talk too much about this ending without getting into spoilers, so you'll have to come back for my next video where I get into all those spoilers. You might also enjoy my character study video on Kira Navarez after you've read this book, and I hope that this video can help you decide whether you're going to go pick up your own copy of this book or not. Follow me on Instagram and subscribe to this channel for more character studies from science fiction and fantasy, and I'll see you next time. Bye!